Hey, what's going on? Ryan, SuttonBaseTriathlon.com, and we're here to talk to you about Ironman Des Moines 2022, and we're going to talk specifically about the event schedule. I've done videos on the courses, I've done videos on the athlete guide, and then that was the event schedule. Talked about it a little bit, but we're going to expand on the event schedule because I also hit it during race week. So event schedule, event schedule, event schedule. If you didn't realize by now, that event schedule is your little Bible of race week and where to go, what to do, and what to do with yourself. So go to the main website, Ironman Des Moines for 2022. You go down to athletes, you go down to event schedules, and you hit the download button. And I've already downloaded it. And if you're going to print it out, it's already in the athlete guide. So if you're just printing out the athlete guide, you'll collect the event schedule as well. And you'll notice that they put a nice little map at the bottom. That is also in the athlete guide. So you do not need to print this out separately. So don't worry about that. But if you want to, hey, I'm not going to stop you, whatever. More information you can have, the better off you will be. So we're going to jump into it. Check-in is Thursday and Friday. Notice to check in on Thursday starts at 10 a.m. to 5. It's 9 to 5 on Friday, and there is no check-in after that. Saturday and Sunday, there is no check-in. But if you have extenuating circumstances, we went through the athlete guide. You can go back to the Ironman website. You can go through the Connect option. You can scroll down and see the contact information. And in that, you will see a phone number and an email that you can email. This day and age, flights are getting canceled left and right. So if you're flying in and it's going to be tight on Friday anyway, and there's a delay, or they cancel your flight and you're coming in Saturday instead, call, email. That is the number to get a hold of anybody for the specific Ironman Des Moines race event. So that is your way to stay connected to get to the event if you cannot make check-in Thursday or Friday if something happens. But if you don't have a good reason or a good extenuating circumstances, they're not going to let you check in otherwise. So they got check-in. They got Ironman Village, which matches the times of the check-in. So make sure that I highly advise people to get into town the first day of check-in, get checked in, hit the Ironman Village. If you see anything that you want as far as the store goes, hats, shirts, or anything like that, and I would definitely get it sooner than later because that stuff goes pretty quick, and it's usually in short supply, so you don't want to be caught without your t-shirt or without your hat that you wanted from the race event. Because if you go there Thursday and you see it, and you're like, I'll get it Friday. Maybe I'll think about it. You get there Friday, it's probably going to be gone. So definitely pick up what you need on Thursday if you're going to get anything. So I highly advise that. Hit Ironman Village as soon as possible so you can get any kind of race gear that you need. It's also nice to know that if you get there Thursday and you unpack and stuff and you find you're missing a CO2 cartridge, you're missing socks, you're missing goggles or anything, the Ironman Village pretty much has anything you possibly need. There's also the Play Tri Triathlon store, so they've got gear there too. If you find something's wrong with your bike, I definitely hit the Play Tri Triathlon store as well because they have the tech center. So they're going to have tons of bike mechanics there, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Thursday, and then 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday. They're also going to be there Saturday. So Tri-Bike Transport's there too if you're picking up your bike. So just make sure that you're aware what times these places are open and when you're going to get there. And it's also nice because they've got the locations. In the athlete guide is the actual physical address, but you'll also see it on the little map that they have at the end of here, at the end of the event schedule. But athlete check-in, Ironman Village. So fun run registration for Iron Kids, VIP, Spectator, Credential pickup. So if you're doing VIP, if you bought that for some of your spectators, go pick that up. Information tent and Play Tri Triathlon store. Ironman store, like I said, if you think you want any gear, you better go get it because it's going to go pretty quick. Tri-Bike Transport. And then they've got 2 athlete briefings on Thursday. They've got the same stuff going on and the welcoming ceremony for Friday. So 2020, 2021, if there are any races in 2020, they did not have the welcome ceremony. Very few had it in 21, but it's just kind of a nice little gathering, and it's in Cowles Commons, so it would be outdoors more than likely. But they have like an MC that's usually the race announcer, if it's Mike Riley or whoever's going to be racing announcing. It's just kind of a little welcome thing. They just talk about the race, they talk about statistics of maybe how many first timers, where everybody's from, what countries, all that kind of fun stuff. So it's kind of fun and interesting little nugget of races. If you got time to stop by and do it, then I highly recommend just sitting there and jumping in and seeing it. It's kind of interesting. Then Saturday, they do have a practice swim. So 7:30 to 9 at Grays Lake, and we'll go through the map. They're going to have a practice swim. So make sure you read through. They're probably going to give you a chip. So when you go in the water and you come out, they can account for you. Bring your gear, bring everything. I highly recommend trying to get in, even if you don't like take your wetsuit out there. Just jump in, swim around, and see what the water's like. Because I did the 70.3 in 2021. The water is a little bit green, a little bit murky. It is a pond, and it can be rather shallow in spots. Just get used to it and just know what you're going to expect on race day, because you're probably going to have to do a lot of sighting, because there's going to be no markers or anything you're going to be able to see in the water, and the last thing you want to do is trust the feet in front of you that they're going in the right direction. So just be aware of that. So practice swim, Iron Kids Fun Run registration is on Saturday as well. They have the Fun Run registration, I believe. There it goes. The Fun Run is at 10 a.m. They got Tri-Bike Transport still on Saturday, so if you need to pick up your bike, but then you're going to have to turn around because Ironman Village is open. And then mandatory bike and gear check-in, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I should be out there for that, for the Become One tent, answering any questions for the first-timers out there, help settling any nerves or anything like that. But that you have to drop off your bike Saturday, and you drop off your gear, your bike gear and run gear bags. Now, they don't have to be fully loaded. If you forget anything, you have access to them on race day, so you can get in there and put anything you need in them. You have access to your bike on race day, so don't worry too much about that. But you do have to put the bags in. They will not let you bring the bags full in to transition on race day. So, put something in them. Even if you don't, like if it's going to rain overnight or something like that, you don't want to put your shoes in there, get them all wet or whatever. Just put something in there that's heavy enough to keep the bag weighted down, so then you can bring everything in. If you bring like a bag or something like that into race morning and put everything in there, get access to your bags, access to your bike, but you have to drop all that stuff on Saturday. And that's down at Waterworks Park. That's where transition is at, so make sure you're aware of that. Iron Kids Fun Run, now be aware that it's in Principal Park, so it's a little bit different area. So Grays Lake is a practice swim, and sorry about my notifications. They keep going off. We don't need that. Fun Run registration, holy cow. Tri-Bike Transport, bike pickup, oh my. Sorry about that. Ironman Village, Ironman Store, mandatory bike gear check-in, Fun Run, athlete briefing. We've got Grays Lake, Principal Park, Waterworks, Cows Commons, Waterworks, Principal Park, Cows Commons. There's a bunch of different locations, so what's key is this map shows you where everything's at. Waterworks Park, that is where transition at. Blue is Grays Lake. This is a swim start where practice swim is going to be at. Purple is where parking is going to be at for race day and for dropping off your bikes and all that kind of fun stuff. Green is where the fun run is for the kids. So it's a little bit kind of out of the way of everything else. Yellow is Cows Commons. That's where Ironman Village is. That's where all that stuff's going on. And red right here is the finish line. So it's probably 2.5, 3 mile radius for everything in here. So if you're camping out downtown, it's, you're kind of centralized, but it'll be kind of a little bit of a hike. So just be aware of that as far as the timing it takes to get from one area to another. So that's why I highly recommend getting there as early as possible, getting everything knocked out as soon as possible. So that way on Saturday, when you're running around trying to get things done, if you want to do a practice swim, do the kids run, drop off your bike and your gear, and then hit an athlete briefing or something like that, it's going to be a full day of kind of running around. So you just got to make sure you plan that appropriately. So you don't want to be too worn out the day before the race, because that's the thing. The event schedule for actual race day. So 3:30 a.m. parking opens. So that's why they have a parking lot right here. They're going to have shuttles from the parking lot and shuttles from Cows Commons. So if you're staying downtown, you can catch a shuttle. So those shuttles to T1 from Bella Avenue, shuttles to T1 from Cows Commons, they start at 3:45 to 5:30. So earlier the better. You don't want to be in those last little buses, or you don't want to be the ones waiting in line to try to get there and sweating it out to see if you're going to make it in time for the last shuttle or something like that. They'll keep going until you get there, but you just don't want to be that person, the last one, trying to get on the shuttles, especially if you're getting full. If you're with spectators, they're going to push the spectators to the end and get the athletes in there as soon as possible. So just be aware of that. The earlier the better, to make sure there's plenty of room on those buses for your spectators to go along with the athletes to the transition area. Bike personal needs drop off. So make sure you're going to get to Waterworks Park, and that's where you drop off your special needs bags. Now, I've done plenty of videos on that for special needs. So that is separate from your gear bags for the run and the bike. And you want to bring those with you on the bus or on the shuttle to transition area, because they'll have special places where you drop those off. Transition opens at 4 a.m. So if you get there at 3:30, hit the shuttle, you should be there right as they open up. Shouldn't be a problem. Information tent, pro male swim start. Notice they start at 5:30 a.m., which is extremely early. Usually it's like 6:30 or something like that. So female pros, age group swim start at 5:45. So this is going to be a rolling swim start. So make sure you seat yourself appropriately. The maps aren't on here, but I've talked about the swim course. It's a 2-loop swim. It's going to be awfully congested. Last thing you want to do is being swam over for 2.4 miles or having to swim around with people for 2.4 miles. So try to seed yourself accordingly, and just do the best you can, because there's going to be congestion out there. So just be aware that's the swim starts. The shuttles for the spectators to go back to Bell Avenue and Callis Commons starts at 9 a.m. So if your spectators are there, they see you swim out, and they see you right off into the sunset, they can either walk back or they can wait for the shuttles at 9 o'clock. Ironman Village opens back up, so your spectators can go shopping. Official Ironman store opens up. Information tent lost and found. Morning clothes bag pickup is at 1 p.m. So shuttle back to transition, mandatory. So morning clothes bag pickup, that's going to be at Callis Commons. So that's when you finish, that's where your morning clothes bag will be. So then you can get to the finish line, you can change in your whatever morning clothes or whatever, change out of your nasty gear that you've worn for the entire race. Hop on a shuttle, get back to transition to get your stuff. So they got a shuttle from transition starting at 5 p.m. Mandatory bike gear checkout. They do have most tri-bike. I'm just trying to read this off the top of my head. I guess they are going to make you try to get all your stuff out on race day. It's at 12:30 a.m. on Monday. They're going to have you get all your stuff. Sometimes they've been allowing the next day to come get your stuff if you're too tired or something like that, if you finish towards the end of the race. But if you want your spectators or somebody else to come get it, there's going to be little tags in your check-in gear that says, athlete number, whatever. This ticket allows you to get your spectators or your Sherpas to go in there and get your bag, get both your bags. Your morning bag is up to you at the finish line. You can get your bike bag, your run bag. You will not get any special needs bags back, but your Sherpa can get your bike, your run, and your bike bag. They can grab those out of transition for you with that ticket. So if you're out there still running past 5 p.m., they can go get that and get it ready for you. Just hang out at transition or go to the finish line, whatever. Tri-bike transport return. So if you're going to ship your bike back with Tri-bike, that's when they open. So the main thing is you don't have to memorize all this. You don't have to remember from this conversation and watching this video, but I just like to run through all that just so you know, race day is there's lots of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts. So make sure you print this off and you have it with you to just keep checking to make sure that you know what's going on. Then Monday, Ironman Village opens back up, Ironman store. They do have a breakfast at 8 a.m. in Callis Commons. So if you're around, hey, that's kind of nice. I've done it for Ironman Florida. We went to the breakfast the next day. It was kind of a nice little breakfast. You do have to pay a little bit extra, so make sure you're aware of that. They got lost and found. Tri-bike transport. You can still put your bikes back into Tri-bike transport the following day. And then they have an award ceremony. So if you think you're going to qualify for Kona, if you've podiumed in your age group, you have to show up there to get your award or to claim your spot for Kona. So make sure that you are aware of that for Monday after the race. Like I said, here's the map of all of the locations for everything. And I know that took a minute, talked for about 13 minutes about the event schedule, but it's very important. Lots of stuff going on, lots of things to get organized, logistics, where to be, what you're going to do. I recommend hitting at least one athlete briefing, trying to get in as soon as possible, get checkout done, make sure your bike is in working order. If you have to take it to the Tri-Bike store, go through all your gear, make sure you have everything you need. If not, hit the Ironman store. So Thursday, get all the logistics done. Friday is kind of time to take it easy and go through. Saturday, get your gear ready, drop off your bike, your run, and your bike bag, and then get everything else ready. And then on race day, take your morning clothes bag, be ready, go in the transition area, get your bags finally ready, get your bike ready, all your drinks, all your nutrition, all that kind of stuff, and then have a good race day. It's just that simple, right? So hopefully this helped you out. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I always get notifications. I'd like to get that feedback from you. If there's anything that maybe I missed, maybe something I should add in there, or if you just have any questions in general. Like I said, I'm doing the race. I'll be there at the Become One tent at the bike drop off on Saturday. So make sure you stop by. If I'm not there, another coach will be there to help you out with your questions. If you like the video, give it a like on Facebook. Give it a like on YouTube. Give me a subscribe on YouTube. Hit notifications to see future videos about either Des Moines or another race. If there's other races you want to see, put them on there. I'll talk about those as well. Have any other questions, like I said, put them in the comments. I get notifications. Hopefully this helped you out. I know it was a lot to digest. Go back and play it again if you think you could stand it. Hopefully this helped you out. Happy training out there, and we'll see you out there on race day.